Hello, my name is Candy Lean, and I'm a braille teacher here at North Dakota Vision Services School for the Blind. And today I wanted to demonstrate how to load paper into the Perkins brailler. And that might sound like something that is very simple, and it is simple, but there are a few things that a person needs to remember when loading paper into the brailler correctly. First of all, you'll see the brailler here has a dust cover on it, and it's important to keep the dust cover on the brailler whenever the brailler is not in use. When keys become sticky on the brailler, that's usually because dust has gotten into the machine. So if you just keep the dust cover on the brailler when it's not being used, that will prevent that problem. Okay, I'll take the cover off. And I am using this white paper. I use this almost all the time in the classroom because it's less expensive, and for almost every application it is perfectly fine to use the white paper, so you can save some money that way. The only time I would be more concerned about using the manila paper is if it's something that I wanted to keep for a long time and I wanted to hold up better. But for homework assignments and things that are going to be thrown away eventually, I would just use the white paper. The first thing to be sure of before even beginning to put paper in the brailler is to check these knobs on the side of the brailler. Make sure they are turned as far as they can go away from you, the user. That, I think, is the thing that people forget most frequently. If the knobs are not turned as far as they can go away from the user, the paper will not feed properly into the brailler. So I've checked these knobs and they are turned as far as they can go away from me. Make sure the embossing head is over to the left, which it is here, and then you lift these levers up that are on the top of the brailler. That opens up the brailler to allow paper to go into the brailler. Another thing to look at is the margin settings on the left. That's this little screw here, and the margin can be adjusted wider or narrower. And you would want it wider if you have paper that has holes punched in the left margin so that the paper can go into a 3-ring binder. If you do not use a wider margin with that paper, the paper will normally not go into the brailler properly because the brailler will detect those holes, and it'll think it's at the end of the page and it'll stop feeding the paper in. So if you have paper with holes on the left, make sure this left margin screw is all the way over as far as it'll go to the left, like it is now. But the paper I have does not have 3 holes on the left margin, so I'm going to adjust the screw over further, like that. Okay, when you're putting paper into the brailler, notice that it goes flat, and you want to insert the paper between this rubber rod and the metal rod. Don't try to put it in vertically, then that will not work at all. So lay it flat, fit it in between those 2 rods, and then slide it over as far as it'll go over to the left so that it's in that notch, or that slot on the left, and then it's all the way up to where the screw has been set. And the paper needs to be squarely into the brailler. Okay, I have the paper squarely into the brailler now, and I'm going to press the levers down. Then I will begin to turn the levers towards myself, and the paper it'll stop automatically when the paper is already in the brailler. There, it stopped automatically. The next thing you do before writing, and this is very important, is to press the new line key, which is the round key on the left. Press that down 1 time. If you forget to do that, your first 2 lines of braille may overlap each other. So press the new line key, and now you're ready to write with the brailler.